Hey everybody, I'll show you a little trick to keep the mess down when changing your Honda Outboard oil filter. Follow the book instructions. Tip the motor up. This is a Honda 250. So motor's up, and then find yourself a nice chute of some kind. My chute is from a package of windshield wipers. Windshield wiper. And just slide it right under here, under the factory little dip, factory guide for the oil. Just get it right in there like that, and prop yourself up a nice drip pan. For me, I've got 3 milk crates in a box. 4 milk crates would have been fine. So I like to use a strap wrench. Plenty of ways to take off an oil filter, and this is just one of them. Ooh, that's on there tight. See, my oil filter was marked April 2022. So yeah, it's been a minute since I've taken this off. Now, I already had my motor tipped all the way down to try to empty this oil into the crankcase. So then I tipped it up. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay, don't knock my chute off. Ooh, that's got a long thread on it. Okay. Not much. So tipping the engine all the way down to its lowest point definitely helped empty this filter, because there is not a lot in there. So that's another good little tip. Before you get to this point, do that, and you'll save yourself a lot of mess. So if you're still watching, another thing that I've done while my engine was tipped down, because I'm a salty, and I've been to the lake, ran the motor, but there was still some water drops. And I know that's salt, and so I went ahead and I shot water all the way around and rinsed everything down. I already changed my spark plugs. Those Iridium spark plugs are $25 each at the dealer. They're like, "Are you sure you want these?" I'm like, "It's been 8 years." And check it out. My plugs were not the Iridium. This thing's been running awesome for 8 years. But even at that rate, they're still looking good. They're slightly worn enough to where the book says if the shoulder of the electrode is worn, replace. So that was pretty much the case. And it hasn't been starting like vroom vroom starting. It's just been like chugging along with the starter, and then it starts and it sounds a little bit choppy. So I want to note the Okay, before I put my filter on, I'm going to put some oil. I can't fill it all the way up because the engine is tipped and the filter mounts horizontal. But I can put some oil in there. That way on startup, I've got a little bit of oil on the filter. I'm going to simulate the angle. That's about it. All right, I've already drained the oil, but I want to see what else is in there. I've tipped the motor up and down a couple times. Ooh, look at that. Quite a bit more. That was probably everything that came out of the oil filter. And notice there's some milk in there. And this is typical of every outboard you're ever going to change the oil in. Yeah, there's water in the oil, but it's not like you think it might be. This is just condensation. It's completely normal. Don't freak out. But it's good to get it all out. I've had my motor up and down a few times, draining the oil filter into the crankcase and whatnot. And before I put the plug back in, I am going to pour about a half a quart of oil through the engine to get any more out. Let me know in the comments if you got the same bit of milk when you change oil in your outboard.